Hey, welcome. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I'm so sorry for all the technical problems today. Oh my gosh. Let's see if we're on, if we're back on. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Yay! Yay! You can hear me. Okay. Oh, Jessica, I think rebooting did it. Woo! Yay! Okay. Hope we can send everybody who's over in the other chat room over here because I think that's still going. So hopefully we can tell them that we're live here. So thank you everybody for joining us. I'm so glad. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, if in doubt, reboot or like unplug your device and then plug it back in. That's the way to do it. So I don't know, it was just stuck on that live button. It wouldn't go live. So we made it. And I just hope, we didn't lose some viewers. And if we did, I hope they can see it later. And it's just a weird night because we don't have Andreina. She's away. She was going to try to join us, but apparently she couldn't do that. So then my plan B was Emily, and then Emily has sick kids at home, so unfortunately she can't join. So it's just me and you guys out there, and I'm just so happy to be here because it's October. We're talking Mets. We're even talking Subway Series if we're going to get that crazy. And I'm so excited. And guess what? The Mets won a game in LA, and that's great news because they're 1-1. They're coming home, and it's just exciting to have baseball in the fall. So let's hear what we have out there. Oh my gosh, good. We have some people that found us. Suzanne, oh, welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to say hi to everybody, do shout outs. I think I lost Darron. He was in the other podcast, and I hope he comes back because he's a loyal listener. And let's see, we have Margie with us. We have Jessica. We were talking Subway Series. So we have Suzanne. Okay. Suzanne she's a Yankee fan. Boo. But, we love her anyway. And we're glad that she's here because, you know what? We I think most of us want to have a Subway Series or, something that exciting in New York. We don't have it with our football team. So, it's great if our baseball teams are playing well. So, would love to have a Subway Series. But I want to throw out to you guys a little poll that I did. If I can find it, I just went to check who really wants a Subway Series, who I guess is rooting for the Yankees over Cleveland so that the Mets advance. They're going to play the Yankees, and let's see what we had out there. So I'm going to check. I did this on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now, and we had 28% wanted a Subway Series. 33% wanted Cleveland because Cleveland rocks. And then we had 39% said it doesn't matter. So kind of interesting take on it was a small sample size, but it was a good kind of feel out there about what Met fans are kind of rooting for, going forward. The way I feel is that I just want the Mets to win one game at a time. I'm not even thinking, I'm not even thinking the end of this week. I'm thinking tomorrow. And, how's Severino going to do? If it's Severino, I think, pitching tomorrow. And then we don't even know the pitchers, for Thursday and Friday. And I'm just thinking, take that one game at a time. And also, let's just look at all the good that happened last night. So let's hear from you guys out there. What was your take on, well, first of all, Sunday's kind of disaster, and then let's talk a little bit about Monday and how they rebounded. So any comments out there that you guys want to share? Let's see who we have commenting. Let's see. Jessica says mid-October Mets talk is very weird feeling. Yeah, it really is. I mean, last year we were talking about what are we going to do in the off season, who we're going to acquire, who we're going to get rid of. Just it's so bizarre. And I know, like, Suzanne's a Yankee fan. People, from like Yankee fans are used to it, right? The expectation is for them to get to the World Series or at least be in postseason play. So they're just like, they're kind of like, hey, it's October, we expect to be playing ball. And that's not the case with the Mets. So let's see what. I am going to Friday's game. Well, that's the plan, because it's not only is it going to be warmer Friday, who knows? Maybe there'll be, it'll be a significant game and they'll clinch and move on. So, but that just works better for me. So I am going to Friday's game as opposed to tomorrow. I have tickets for both. So I'm picking Friday's game. And then let's see. So the Mets listened to my tweets last night when I asked for a first inning run. Okay, you did it. Yes, Lindor. And again, when I asked for a bunch of runs in the second, I hope they listen again tomorrow. Okay. Well, you're a good luck charm then. And let me tell you, Jessica, I don't know. You probably thought that was enough because they only got one run after that. So I think for the future, for tomorrow, for them to listen to you, I would love to see let's get runs consistently throughout, because I was getting a little bit frustrated for a while when the Mets were kind of not cashing in, later after the second inning. And I was so thankful that they got that extra run. It meant so much. I mean, they didn't, they won by obviously more than one run, but it just is that insurance run. It makes you feel better and more confident. And you're like, let's not get that tying run at the plate because we know what the relievers can do to Met fans. It's just agonizing sometimes to be watching these pitchers on the mound. And, one of the things that the Mets continue to struggle with, even though they played well yesterday and obviously well enough to win, they continue to walk batters. And I'm not sure how many it was. I think it was like 8 last night, maybe 8 or 9 on Sunday. Often those runs scored on Sunday if they put them on base. We were fortunate to get out of it with only 3 runs. Last night, I know Manaea had to come out in the 5th because he walked the first 2 batters, I believe it was. And, even though he was pitching well, he just got into that jam. And then, we just have to be careful about this team, because if you put runners on base, they're going to cash in. I mean, the Dodgers are going to execute, and it's something we have to be careful about. And the one thing I want to say about the Dodgers compared to the Phillies and compared to Milwaukee is that they're a patient team, and they will not chase. They're not going to chase at this bad, and maybe Mookie Betts will. But a lot of their players are very disciplined at the plate, and we can't be nibbling on the corners because we're not going to get those calls. So they're going to be put on base. It's going to be a recipe for disaster going forward, especially if they have guys who are going to steal on us or if they're going to play small ball. Obviously, they have the power. So we have to be smarter. We have to just even attack the batters. I think that's going to be the plan going forward to beat this team. Don't be afraid of them. Don't give them the free base. That's what I think. So let's see what else we have out there. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I know. I know, Diaz. You're just, I don't know. Maybe it's that he wants to make us sweat. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But he's not the only one in this series that walks batters. So it's obviously an issue with with this rotation, and they did figure it out for a while, and I'm not sure if it was because of the opponents that they were playing. They were much more aggressive at the plate, so they were getting more batters chasing, and that's where they were getting strikeouts, and this team's not going to do that, so they're going to have to adjust, and we're going to see what happens. So let's see what else we got out there. Okay, so Jessica says the Mets are trying to build the other team's confidence up so they can come back and crush it again. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love, last night though, I don't know. I don't want those close games. I don't want that ability to have the tying run at the plate. I just cannot stomach it. It's way too much for me to deal with that. It gives me agita when these pitchers come in and they can't find the plate. And I just wonder, what were you doing? You're sitting out there in the outfield. You're a relief pitcher. You're supposed to give us relief. You're not supposed to give us agita. It's like we're supposed to get, feel good. We feel terrible when they come in. It just makes absolutely no sense. And let's see, what else do we have out there? I think Suzanne has something to say. So Suzanne's asking the question, what do you think is the biggest thing that could hold the Mets back? Or hold the Mets back is for the Yankees, it's hitting in the off season. What do you think is the biggest thing that could hold the Mets back? For the Yankees, it's hitting in the off season. So I'm trying to understand that, you think hold back to get to the World Series. I just want a clarification on the question to see if I'm understanding it right. If that is the question, what would prevent the Mets from making it? I would say, oh my gosh, I would say the lack of offense in the beginning of the games where they struggle to get timely hitting or hits, to get on base, to execute. Sometimes they go really cold, and then we're waiting for that seventh, eighth, ninth inning for them to break out of it. And maybe it's just that they're just not getting to the starter. They just haven't figured the starter out. So I think that's going to be an issue. We saw last night when they got those runs right away, it just changed the whole ball game. It changed the strategy for the Dodgers. It changed the confidence level for the Mets because they got shut out the night before. So it really made such a difference. So I think for them, they have to score early and get a big lead because relief pitching is going to be another area of concern for the Mets. I think so. Suzanne, if I didn't answer that question or you had me, you were thinking something else, let me know. Let's see. When you're right, you are right. That's right. I'm right. I guess I'm right. Let's see. Ron, turns not more stomach acid. Yeah, I'll tell you, I really, these games can make me sick, and they get me excited and I'm pacing and I feel great, but I also feel like I said, the agita. It's crazy. Okay, so Suzanne said she got it. And it's so interesting because I listen to FAN and I know what's being said about the Yankees. And I just find it so kind of ironic, right? That some of the players that they knocked down like during the regular season have performed for the Yankees. Rondon last night pitching, Stanton hitting a clutch, and it's just Verdugo, whatever, I can't even say his name. He was doing well there at the end of the year. So I just find, like, what do they know, right? The experts. And it's really like it's like a whole different season, the postseason. It just becomes like everybody starting, on the same playing level. And I think that's what makes the postseason so unique and so wonderful, because even if you sucked during the year, you could become a hero, because everybody was down on Alonso. And then, he just became the biggest hero for the Mets, because they wouldn't be where they are right now if it wasn't for that dramatic home run. So it's so, you never know. They need, let's see. Oh, Ohtani from making an impact. Yeah, San Diego kept Ohtani in check, and then they still lost. So I think, yes, we have to keep Ohtani in check, but we have to remember that the Dodgers have a lot of key players. So it's just up and down their lineup. So it's not just Ohtani, even though, we're annoyed at Ohtani more than any other player, all his records, his gambling problems, the attention, all that stuff. But there are other players like Mookie Betts, like Freddie Freeman. I mean, they're pitching, even when they're down and hurt, they somehow come up with these great, pitchers who could, pull off amazing performances. So I think, yes, I agree, that we got to keep Ohtani in check, but also let's remember the other guys on the Dodgers too. So let's see what else we have out there. I got to put my glasses on for this. Pitch him nothing but junk. Yeah, I mean, don't give him anything. I mean, we did walk him, right? Didn't he walk twice last night? So let's see. But the team can win with it. Yeah, they can win without him. I mean, the Dodgers, it doesn't even matter who they get. But it's so, I just find the Dodgers feeling like they were like victims, like they were wrongly treated again when they were playing the Padres. I find that so odd, because they're always like this, like, nemesis. They're the team that spent all this money, that got Ohtani, that got Yamamoto, and they acted like, oh, nobody believed in us. They counted us down. They counted us out when we were playing San Diego. And I just feel like, really? Cry me a river. I don't even want to hear it. You spent so much money, and you basically stole these players from other teams. You're always picking up these guys. I mean, it's unbelievable, the stars that they have on their team. I mean, if you look at their lineup up and down, all these players have somehow, not all of them, but a lot of them have been in the All-Star game because they're all-stars. It really is just annoying. So I'm just, look, I'm glad that the Mets are considered underdogs for this series. It makes them I think it puts them in a better position to kind of face the Dodgers. And I'm just really happy that the Mets had won that game last night, because if they were to come home, to be down 2 games, it would have been very difficult. And so it just puts them kind of at the advantage right now, having the 3 games at home this week. So let's see what else we got here. Don't let Freddie get, that's right. If we're going to have an injured player, if there's going to be an injured player making an impact in the playoffs, let's have it be Nimmo and not Freddie Freeman, because we got like two guys out there limping. Freeman on the Dodgers side, we got Nimmo with his foot problems. So yeah, we don't want, and he's annoying too. And I always loved Freddie Freeman as just like a complete ball player, but not as a Dodger. So yeah, hopefully we don't let him, get to us. So let's see. What else? The weakness of the Dodgers is starting pitching. Yeah, except for, Sunday night. Yeah, I mean, they have so many injuries, so it's true. Like who are they setting up, going forward to face the Mets? And it'll be interesting. Yamamoto's good. But even though he had probably his best outing postseason against San Diego the last time they faced the last game, he did struggle when he did face them before. So he does have some weaknesses. So even their best pitcher now has some weaknesses. So let's see. Yeah, I heard this too, that the Mets would be starting McNeil and Torrens, but I didn't see like the official kind of announcement. So if anybody has it like officially, let us know and then give us your source, because I did see it as a headline, but I didn't see it, kind of confirmed. I would have to say I'm not surprised at Torrens, because Alvarez is not doing the job at the plate. He's struggling, and it just seems like every, ball he's trying to hit it out, as opposed to just making contact and hitting it where the opponent is and just trying to place the ball strategically. He's really off mentally at the plate. So I think Torrens, being a veteran that he is and having some experience with the pitching staff, he can handle it behind the plate. He has a good arm, and he has contributed with his bat. So I think, for in that sense, I think that is going to happen for tomorrow. I think that's going to be the move. That'll be a change with the lineup. Now, as far as McNeil, Iglesias looked a little shaky out there in the field, so I just wonder, is it something that they feel like they want to give him a rest and then put McNeil in? I said it the last podcast that I wasn't too happy about McNeil coming on board, with the team, because they were doing so well. I thought it was like maybe like this like bad juju type of thing, but I don't know. He is versatile. He could play second. He could go in the outfield. They can move him around during the game. He's got good speed. So let's see. Let's see how that works out. I'm not a fan of him, but we'll find out, right? And I trust Mendoza. So he's got a lot more information and insight with the players, understanding the game, who's tired, who's not, who's ready to play, who's struggling, who needs a rest. He knows, and I'm just going to trust him and go with it, because what do I know? I could say, oh, I don't ever want to see McNeil, and he'll come up and he'll hit a home run. He'll prove me wrong, like he's done so before. So, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. Look, Anthony's here. Hey, you made it to our podcast 2 created, because we had technical difficulties. So welcome, Anthony. Welcome from Hawaii. I guess, are you finding other Met fans in Hawaii? I just wonder, are we getting enough people watching the games? Because it's got to be early in the morning for some of these games, or in the afternoon, depending on what time they play. So let's hear it. Let's see what Jessica has to say. Oh, she's talking about McNeil. I'm going to put my glasses on for this. So the Mets adding McNeil gives them a lot more versatility on the bench to give them a lot of matchup. This is true. Yeah. So it was a good move. We're glad that Ottavino is not in on the roster. So that was the big move there to put McNeil in, take him out. He didn't add value. They weren't really utilizing him, and he was like another player that would give us agita, when he came in to pitch. So was nice to just see that change. And I want McNeil to prove me wrong. The one thing about McNeil though, when he was let's say recovering from his injury, it took him a long time to kind of get back to the team. I felt like, where was he? Even if he was injured, like, shouldn't he have been in the dugout for some of these series? Like, he wasn't in Milwaukee, he was in Philadelphia. I know his wife had a baby. Okay, I'll give him that. But I just didn't feel like he was part of the team during that time. So, he's back, and we'll see. Just hopefully change my whole mindset and perspective. Prove me wrong, please. Let's see who else is. No other fans out here. I'm all alone. Lots of Yankee fans. Boo! How is that possible? Is it that Yankee fans can travel to Hawaii and Met fans, what's the hardworking blue class folks can't get that far to travel because it's so expensive? Those Yankee corporate fans. No. I know I'm generalizing, it's all in fun, not totally serious, but so interesting, right? That that you're around Yankee fans and not too many Met fans. So, well, we're glad we have you, Anthony. Thank God, right? So, so you know what? Speaking of, well, not that we were speaking of it, but I was thinking about it because I don't know if you guys saw the podcast where I had my snake. My snake is really my son's snake, but I had a snake on. It's the family pet, one of the pets here. His name's Ricky. He was on the podcast, and guess what? There was a snake in the Dodger dugout, and I'm just telling you, I did not ship Ricky to Dodger Stadium. It was not Ricky in the dugout giving bad vibes to the Dodgers, like the black cat in 69. I just want to make that clear. I'm putting it out there. It was not Ricky. Okay. So, did you find that oh, maybe that's superstitious? Maybe that's going to help the Mets? What are your comments out there? Any funny stuff with, because we've had so many gimmicks this year when you think about it. I mean, we had the Grimace, and we had a dog eating hot dogs, and Pimp Guy, and our gosh, just so much stuff going on this year. Just wondering what you guys thought about that snake. Soon we'll be wearing snake stuff. Let's see. Oh yeah. We'll have to get to that. Had the Mets found a snake in the dugout, it would have been adopted as the new October. Yeah, but we got a pumpkin, remember? We got Alonso's pumpkin for our October. So who knows? The way these series go so long, and with hurricanes delaying stuff, we might go into November. We might have to have a turkey out there. So yeah, it was the but we're gonna think of it like the bad luck charm. Yeah, we can't forget this. Yeah, that's I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to actually bring that up, but yeah, that's another gimmick. Well, that's just another questionable marketing move by the Mets. Oh, so let's see, what else do we have out there? Yeah, it's such a fun team, and I'm glad you bring this up because we do have a Yankee fan on, and then we may have other Yankee fans listening and they're just hiding, they don't want to say anything. But I'm curious, Suzanne or any other Yankee fan out there, how you feel about the fact that the Mets are a lot of fun, and the Yankees, they're, of course they're fun when they're winning for you, but they're kind of boring, right? I mean, and that's probably okay with you, but I'm curious about, how you feel about it, because I've heard some Yankee fans like saying, I wish it was this much fun for us, or, how come we don't have like the grimace, or, these corny things, the pumpkin or the pimp guy, or so anyway, let me know what you think about that. I'm curious. Any comments? I don't even know what time I started, since I did this, came on like the second round here. So but we can like keep this going. Let's see. They also don't have the oh yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, it's true that the Mets are like being a fan, it's sort of like the black sheep of the family, the redheaded, I don't know what they call it, the step kid, or just somebody who has a tough life, always something going wrong, just jinx, just it's bad luck. And the Yankees, they seem to be that like successful, doing well, the favorite child, if I'm going to compare the two. So that's the way I feel. Let's see. Yankees have 2 fun at bats every 3 innings with Judge and Soto, and then the rest of the game is boring. Yeah, it's true. And it's a lot of pressure for them. Like, when you think about it, when Judge wasn't hitting before, they were like, oh, Judge, he's not hitting. And, when you have like 2 of those guys and they're not doing the job, then, what do you have, right? You don't have much, but it's true. Those 2 are amazing. And I'm sure that brings a lot of energy and excitement for the Yankee fans. I don't know if I want to see it, though. I don't want to see the Mets facing them, but yeah, maybe I do want to see it. Maybe I want to kind of revenge from 2000. So let's see what else. With the home run apple, yeah. I think, what's great is they have the count in the outfield of how many home runs the Mets have hit at Citi Field. And so it's always nice when they're tracking that. And I don't know if they differentiated like the regular season from the playoffs. I think they're keeping it going, and it's over 100 at home this year, which is cool. Let's see. The Yanks are expected to win every year, so there's a ton of pressure on them. Plus, they've been around forever. They don't even have names on their jersey, and no long hair allowed. Yeah, they definitely it's just a different vibe. They have that tradition. The history is amazing. They're considered the best franchise in any sport. You can't even compare. Like, you're never even gonna be able to have like a Garrick and a Ruth and DiMaggio and Mantle. Like, it'll never happen in the history of like baseball. We won't see that again. And so many rings and championships, but it was a different era. So maybe like the Mets could start something new and have like a new dynasty. Wouldn't that be great? And then maybe we'll be like the fun dynasty. The Yankees be that like, old tradition, like great history. So we'll see, right? We could only hope. So what else do we have out there? Manaya didn't want to go to the Yankees before because of the Herald, then came to the Mets and got, I know, so bizarre, right? And when he came to the Mets with all that hair, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't even see his face. Like he looked, I don't know, I just got this impression of him like being a wild guy, and supposedly he's the opposite of that and has nothing to do with that, the fact that he cut his hair. But some people like call him like a gentle giant, like he's just like the nicest guy and he's super cool. And I mean, if you watched the interview after the game last night, he was just so calm and answered all the questions and just, I mean, said the right things. And he's like been one of like a almost like a perfect player for the Mets. And I am so glad we have him and not the Yankees. And we'll let you grow your hair like you've grown your facial hair, and you can grow it long and frizzy and out like mine. Please just stay with us. Do not go anywhere. That's what I'm saying. Especially after Chris Sale saved your butt this year, or you did something to see Chris Sale and learn from him. And I am, oh my gosh, I am so thankful for it. He could be one of the MVP for the Mets of the whole year. Really, without him, they wouldn't be here. So I love it. Yeah. So I think that's it. You know what? A couple things though before we get off. I'm so sorry, first of all, for all the technical problems. I'm glad you still join. I hope if there's people like watching later, they find this podcast. They don't go to the other one waiting for something. But I hope, we're back here talking about going forward, or at least like if we have to go back to LA, that we're going back, being positive, being up, like, a game. I hope that's the case. And, let's go Mets. And I can't wait. I can't wait to report too what it's like at Citi Field on Friday night. And let's just hope we're in a good position come Friday. So thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm going to play some music to end this. I appreciate it. Let's see. What are we going to play? Let's see. We could do Oh My God, because that's what I was playing before. Thank you again, everybody. Share, like, let everybody know.